Everyone, it was not that long ago that the Warriors just seemed dead in the water. They were terrible. They couldn't beat anybody. Basically, nobody was showing up outside of Steph Curry. Andrew Wiggins was looking like, he was a shell of his former self. Klay Thompson was an absolute disaster. Draymond is out here getting suspended every week. And it was a mess. Now there's questions of are they going to trade everybody? What are they going to do? Are they going to, waive Chris Paul? Are they going to trade Chris Paul? Are they going to trade Wiggins? Steve Kerr, is he on his way out? Is Steve Kerr lost the Warriors in the locker room? Right? They drafted nice. They have some nice young players, some nice young pieces. Right? It's time to hit the reset button. The dynasty is over. You heard all the noise. You heard all the conversations, right? And they were bad. It was all very justified. All of the talk of the Warriors slander was warranted at the time. And then we got into this month of February, right? Because they were still struggling mightily in January. But then we got into February, and the entire narrative and story has changed. The Warriors won 11 out of 14 games in the month of February. There are 3 losses coming to the Atlanta Hawks, which is not a good-looking loss, but still. The Clippers, which, okay, and the Nuggets, okay. Outside of that, they had an incredible stretch in the month of February. They are currently going on a 7-game road win streak, which last year, the Warriors were they were the 3rd worst road team in the league. Last season, they were bad, right? Very bad. So the fact that they are winning heavily on the road is good look, this is a team that's trying to make the postseason, right? This is a team that's trying to move up in the standings. And they have the 25th toughest schedule the rest of the way. So they have a lot of really favorable games as they move towards this month of March and then the ending closing month of April. And look, this has been a real just display. Nobody wants to face the Warriors. Nobody, right? I don't personally, this is just me, I don't personally think that the Warriors will win a championship this year. You never know, right? Never say never. If you jumped into a time machine, came back and said, hey, the Golden State Warriors actually won the championship this year, I would believe it, right? I don't think anyone would be shocked if the Warriors won the championship. Steph Curry is still Steph Curry. Draymond Green is having one of the best shooting seasons of his career. Klay Thompson could still be Klay Thompson at any moment, as we've seen in certain games, certain moments. Andrew Wiggins is finally looking like the Andrew Wiggins that we know and love. We'll touch on him here and more in a moment. They got nice injection of just youth, and they've drafted well. Jonathan Kuminga, all these guys have really stepped up, starting to get guys back health-wise, right? The Warriors are surging at the right time. And it's one of those things of it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the Warriors are looking like they're potentially going to finish strong. Now, they are still currently the 10th seed, which is tough, right? They are only half a game behind the Lakers, the Lakers and the Warriors do play each other twice the rest of the way. As a Laker fan, I hope that the Lakers smack the Warriors both those times because I want the Lakers to have the tiebreaker and move ahead. But from the unbiased perspective, that's going to be a battle. That's going to be a war, right? And the Warriors it's a tough matchup for them for the Lakers, but the Warriors can beat them. They have shown that they are capable of beating them. And those 2 games could potentially be extremely crucial. One, for who could potentially have home court in a potential play-in matchup, but also as far as tiebreakers go, climbing up the standings, obviously both of those teams desperately need wins. Now they're 2 games out of the Sacramento Kings for the 8th seed, 2.5 games out of the 7th seed, 3 games out of the 6th seed, and 3.5 games out of the Phoenix Suns and the 5th seed. Now, all the teams that are ahead of them all have tougher schedules than the Warriors. The Phoenix Suns have the toughest schedule in the NBA going the rest of the way. So that's very much in their favor. Dallas, who has been surging and looking very good as well, they're a team that they have an easier schedule. Not easier than the Warriors, but it's not that far off. So the teams, in my opinion, that the Warriors are looking at are the Lakers, the Kings, the Pelicans, and the Suns. Those 4 teams, I think, definitely they're trying to hope that they can catch some ground there, and then also those teams kind of have a fallback. Obviously, Dallas too, because Dallas is in front of them, but Dallas has a relatively easy schedule, and they're playing some excellent basketball right now as well. So you have 2 very surging teams. Again, you never know. Anything can happen. Anything can change. But again, a lot of it with the Warriors, just the team is stepping up, right? It's not just Steph Curry having to do it all. Now, don't get me wrong. There's moments still. There's games still. Steph Curry is still doing Steph Curry things, right? I don't want to sell Steph short here. Even in the game against the Knicks, he had 31, 11, and 1, right? So, and he was 8 of 18 from 3. Like, he's still doing very much Steph things. But you're seeing other guys collectively step up and pick it up, right? You're seeing other guys really play quality roles. You didn't have Andrew Wiggins in the Knicks game, but Andrew Wiggins in general is starting to round out and look like that two-way, can take over a game, be your second best player on a championship team, as he was during that run a couple years ago for the Warriors when they won the championship. So Andrew Wiggins, look, they need Wiggins to be great, right? Especially come to the postseason with his experience, his versatility, his abilities to do so many things on the basketball court. We'll see what happens with Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is out indefinitely with personal matters, so hopefully it's not too long, because they do need him, right? They do need Andrew Wiggins. And as I mentioned, he was really starting to kind of come into form. He was really starting to bounce back rather nicely, where he had some very early struggles. Right? Early in the season, he was looking like there were times where he looked literally unplayable. And you're just like, dude, like who is this guy? Right? Like, he is clearly not the same guy. Right? But you look at his last 10 games. So on the season he's averaging 12, basically 13 points, 12.7 points, right? But during these last 10 games, he's averaging 15.3, 4.8 rebounds compared to 4.3 rebounds, 2.6 assists compared to 1.7 assists, half a block, and 1.2 steals compared to 0.6 steals. He's averaging less fouls, less turnovers. He's shooting 50% from three-point range as opposed to 35% from three-point range. He's shooting 53.5% from the field as opposed to 45.5% from the field. And his minutes he's averaging more minutes, 27.9 compared to 27.2. So last 10 games, he is literally in every single category been better. More efficient, more effective, more versatile, defensive ratings better, net ratings better, plus minus ratings better. Everything about Andrew Wiggins has been better the last 10 games or so. That's the Andrew Wiggins that they need, right? They need him to continue to perform. But it's not just him, right? Jonathan Kuminga has been spectacular this year. He's really emerging in very, very many ways. And there obviously is the questions of what does he look like come the postseason, because he is very young. He is still very wet behind the ears. But this is a guy, that he's averaging 16 points on the season, but every other game, this guy's giving you 20 to 30 points. And he's just got such good size, such good versatility. He's really emerged as that legit second option for the Warriors, and a guy that can just be very versatile on both sides of the basketball, take over down stretches, and just kind of be a mismatch in many ways. Jonathan Kuminga is emerging into that perfect complement that they need, right? And then you add in guys like Moses Moody and Pod and Trace Jackson, right? These guys have really made an impact in quality minutes that they're providing. And now you got Chris Paul back, Chris Paul gets to be and do Chris Paul things, which Chris Paul has been very good for the Warriors this year as just, that secondary playmaker, take pressure off of Steph Curry, a guy that can lead the bench unit, right? A guy that can he can come in and you can trust, okay, everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be taken care of. Stat-wise, his numbers aren't jumping off the page, but 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists off the bench is excellent, right? He takes care of the basketball. You don't have to worry about him turning the ball over or anything like that. Right? Obviously, the injury concerns are a concern, but he's a guy that you can trust down the stretch. Hey, we need to take care of the basketball. We need to hit big shots. We need to have big moments, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into what Chris Paul provides, and having a guy that like, he's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to take care of the basketball in key moments and key spots when the Warriors have a real struggle with turning over the basketball. Also his ability to have those games, right? Gotten double figures in the Knicks game. Those are the kind of things you want to see, right? You look at the last 10 games for Chris Paul. Again, he's missed a lot of games so far, but he's 60%, right? 50% from 3-point range, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 11 points, right? Like, those are the kind of things you need. 3 steals, 2 fouls, and 1 turnover. You get that from Chris Paul on a regular basis, you're in good shape. Again, off the bench in a limited role. They just didn't have a guy like that, right? That's something that the Warriors have always had, are those key vets, right? Think of like their championship runs. Again, Andrew Wiggins, but Andre Iguodala. You have Sean Livingston, right? Like, these guys that kind of been there, done that, but can have big roles and big moments in a pinch. Somebody that you can lean on and rely on once you get to the postseason. Somebody that's gonna take care of what needs to be taken care of, and you don't have to worry about. Right? Everything revolves and everything goes as far as Steph leads you. Right? The Warriors go as far as Steph takes them. But to have this team coming together at the right time and really starting to pull things out, it's huge. It's huge for the Warriors. And we'll see. We'll see if they're able to keep this up. Again, they have a very easy schedule, but like with Andrew Wiggins and how much time he's going to miss, and there's questions still, right? But what a February for them. Excellent February. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Think they're surging at the right time? Think the Warriors make some noise? Do you think that they can win a championship? Do you think that they won't? Where do you think they end up? Do you think that they'll be able to get that 5th or 6th seed? Do you think, no, they're a play-in team at best? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.